Okay, let's talk about something that sounds completely and totally impossible. We are going to unpack one of the most incredible medical survival stories I have ever heard. It's a case that just seems to defy everything we know about the human body. Surviving an arrow straight through the skull.
And this is where the story goes from just unbelievable to truly mind-bending. Because when the first responders showed up on the scene, this is what they found. The victim wasn't just alive, he was awake. He was communicating, all with a metal shaft going completely through his head.
So yeah, we're calling this person the impossible survivor. And this isn't some scene from a movie. This is a real-life medical case that makes you just rethink the very limits of what a human being can endure.
Which, of course, brings us to the central mystery of it all. An injury like this, a penetrating brain injury, it should be lights out, instantly. So how on earth did this person survive? What made this one case so different?
Let's just ask it, plain and simple. How is this survivable? I mean, seriously, think about it. An arrow traveling at high speed, passing through maybe the most delicate and vital organ in your entire body, it just doesn't add up.
Well, here's the secret, the key to this whole thing. To solve this mystery, you have to kind of flip your thinking. The answer isn't about the damage that was done. It's all about the catastrophic damage that was, by some absolute miracle, completely avoided.
To really get how unbelievably lucky this person was, we gotta do a super quick anatomy lesson. The brain is basically full of what you could call critical no-go zones, areas where even the tiniest bit of damage can be instantly fatal.
All right, first up, the biggest and most immediate threat in any brain injury, the major blood vessels. Think of these as the superhighways that feed the brain everything it needs to run. Hitting one of these, it's game over. So here they are, the brain's main fuel lines. You've got the carotid and the vertebral arteries, and they are under a ton of pressure. If that arrow had so much as nicked just one of them, it would have caused an immediate, massive, and completely non-survivable bleed inside the skull.
Okay, our second no-go zone is the brainstem. You can basically think of this as the body's central processing unit. This little tiny area controls all the stuff you don't think about. Your breathing, your heartbeat, consciousness itself. It's absolutely non-negotiable for staying alive.
And finally, you've got all the other critical bits and pieces. We're talking about major cranial nerves, like the one that controls your vision, and all the specific parts of the brain that control speech, movement, memory, the whole shebang. Damaging these might not kill you instantly, but it would cause devastating, life-altering problems. So, now that we've mapped out the entire minefield inside the skull, let's trace the arrow's unbelievable path. This is where you're going to see just how razor-thin the line between life and death really was.
Just look at this. It's absolutely wild. The arrow enters just below the eye, somehow missing the optic nerve, saving his vision. Then it passes through this tiny, millimeter-perfect corridor between all of the major arteries. It threads the needle through some of the quieter, less critical parts of the brain tissue, and then exits out the back of the skull, completely bypassing the brainstem. It is, in every sense of the phrase, a 1-in-a-million shot.
So let's just lay it all out, side by side. What did the arrow actually hit? Skin, some bone, and some non-essential tissue. And what did it miss? Oh, just all the major arteries, the entire brainstem, major nerves, and critical brain centers. It missed absolutely everything that matters for immediate survival. It's nothing short of an anatomical miracle.
And I'm not just making that number up for effect. Neurosurgeons, trauma experts, the people who studied this case all came to this same conclusion. The odds of an object passing through the human head on this exact trajectory without causing a fatal injury are, quite literally, 1,000,000 to 1.
So what do you take away from a story like this? For me, it's just this incredible, stark reminder of both how fragile we are and at the same time, how unbelievably resilient the human body can be. It's about that razor-thin line between a totally normal day and a medical impossibility.
You could almost call it the confluence of survival. It wasn't just one lucky factor, it was a perfect storm of them. The arrow's angle, its speed, its precise path, every single thing had to align perfectly. It all really just comes down to one word: luck.
And that's the thought I really want to leave you with. We have all this amazing medical science that can save lives in incredible ways. But a story like this, it really forces you to stop and ask, in the most extreme situations, how much of survival is actually about science and how much of it just comes down to pure, dumb, impossible luck?